AM 1170, The Answer.
Welcome back. You are listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on AM 1170, The Answer. My name is Kyle Whissel, your host with Whissel Realty. Joined as always by Mr. Jason Hall with Team Home Loans. And super excited Chargers fan, ready for the draft tomorrow. Just
he just rubs that in, guys.
Oozing with excitement right now.
Just keep putting it in the side pocket here.
Yeah. And also part of the number one team in San Diego, Whissel Realty. We got Cyndy Higgerson in studio. Before the break, we were talking about how hot the real estate market is, how low the inventory is, how it's an amazing time to be a seller. If you're interested in finding out what your home is worth or want some more info on the market conditions, call or text us 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. We'd be happy to come meet with you, give you a free opinion of what your home could sell for in today's crazy market. But what we talked about before the break is appraisals. So, Jason, let's talk about appraisals, because for full disclosure, by the time this airs, we're going to have selected an offer on the property we're going to talk about. So, we listed a property. I'm going to tell you guys a little story, take you on a journey here. We recently listed a property in Santee. We do a lot of business in East County. And this particular property is it's an amazing property. It's one of the most open floor plans I've ever seen in a 1970s house. You walk in, just super spacious, completely redone, wood floors, nice kitchen, quartz counters, pool,
and it's
hot
not
tub,
a flip,
fire
or did
pit.
somebody?
No, it's just a pride of ownership home.
How long have they owned it?
They've been there like a handful of years, I think. It's a military family.
But they take super good care of it.
They take amazing care of it. And so the comps for this property, the highest comp out there based on the actual square footage is 505. And we say, you know what? This is an amazing home. And it's got a pool, it's got central air, it's got solar. It had a lot of extra things above and beyond what that 505 comp had. So we decided, you know what, let's push the envelope. This is a special home. Let's really push it. So we listed this at $550, $45,000 above.
$549,900.
$49,900. Yeah, that extra $100 makes a difference in marketing. So we list this thing $44,900 over the highest comp in the area. Lo and behold, we do an open house on Thursday night just for the neighbors. We get about 50, 60 neighbors coming through the property. And some of these neighbors come through the property and they like it so much, they leave, call their friend, and come back an hour later with the friend in tow to show them how amazing this house is, because this is such a cool house. We had 2 people in a 2-hour open house. 2 people came, left, and came back with friends to show them the house because it's such a nice house. Then we do our public open house on Saturday. We have over 200 people come through the open house. Craziest thing I've ever seen. We've got some social media ads running on Facebook. I think we got 3,000 or 4,000 views on the video we did on this property.
Monday morning, you wake up with
Monday
how
morning
many
rolls
offers?
around. My listing manager is handling some family business, so I get to deal with all the offers on this thing. And I count 24 offers in my inbox.
And none of them are even
And not
under.
one of them is under that $550 list price.
Wow.
Which is just insane. And not only are these offers over list, but people are literally writing things into these offers. I'll pay, no
X
matter
amount
what it
over
appraises
appraises.
for, I'll pay $30,000 above what this property appraises for.
Right.
It is just insane. And we're reviewing offers with the seller between when we record the show and when you're listening to the show. So I don't know exactly where that number is going to end up, but it's well north of that $550 list price. It'll by far be a record for the neighborhood. So now the concern is going to be, what is this going to actually appraise for? Being that the highest comp we could really find was 505. We might have offers up in the high 5s, low 6s. Who knows where it ends up? So talk to our listeners, Jason, about how the appraisal process works and how that's going to kind of come into play on a property like this.
Yeah, so generally an appraiser is hired by the bank to go out there and look at the neighborhood in comparable comps. Other homes that have sold, they like to have 3 sold homes, usually within the last 90 days. Here's the homes that have sold. Here's 3 ones that are currently active, possibly in escrow, meaning they have an accepted offer already. We don't typically know the dollar amount. And based on the condition of the home, the square footage of the home, the location, possible views, here's how we compare this home to these other homes. Now, in a unique home like this appears to be, and or in a super escalating market they're in right now because of the low supply of homes in San Diego, and definitely in Santee. That's where you get this bidding war. And I think a lot of the buyers don't realize that you could bid $900,000 for this house. But if the house appraises at $525,000, do you have the extra cash to come up and beyond that appraisal, right? And that's where most buyers don't even think about that. And unfortunately, most agents don't really understand that. And so they haven't prepared their clients to be able to handle that, So sometimes the highest offer, as you know, Kyle, doesn't mean that's an offer that can actually even close. It could be just a, hey, we think it's worth $700,000. We're going to give you $700,000. But if they don't got $200 extra grand, it's not going to close at $700,000, right? And that's what happens in this escalating market. We see it every time because appraisers are reporting what closed. And so, again, think about this, Kyle and Cyndy. When you literally get an offer accepted, one of the very first things that we do at Team Home Loans is we order the appraisal the day you get your offer accepted. Most banks will order it within 2-3 days, definitely within a week. And so the appraiser's going out there right in the beginning. They're looking at comps that closed in the last 90 days that were in escrow, 30 to 120, 150 days ago. So you've been talking about, Kyle, each week, media's always reporting behind. That's the tough thing for the appraisal. And the appraiser will get a lot of push from the listing agent. Well, hey, look, I have 23 offers. So the market is saying this house is definitely worth more than $550 because every offer you have, 23, 24, 25, whatever the offers may be, are all over that. So, hello, appraiser. Here it is. The market is saying it's worth more. And the appraiser goes, yes, I understand, listing agent. However, I have to comp it and compare and do a report of everything else. And until all of them are doing that, it's hard to compare that, right? And so that's where we're going to be this unique situation. Now, here's the great thing, Kyle. All the neighbors are going to love you, because this will be a record price once it does close. And I'm hoping you pick the right buyer and seller close here. And I'm not involved on any of the transactions personally. I just hope it closes smoothly for all, because now you can go talk to all those people you met at the open house, neighbors only open house. Hey, here's what we've done. I can go in there and go, hey, look, even if you want to stay here, maybe this is the time to refi, because now we have this great comp that you as a refi can utilize. Now, your house may not be as nice as this, but let's say it sells at 600, 580, whatever the number might be. Now, all of a sudden, that's a comp. That's a closed comp, right? Now, it's only one, but that one will start to typically be more and more and more. And that whole neighborhood is probably going to be lifted 30 to 50 grand thanks to Mr. Whissel.
You're welcome, West Santee.
And a great pride of home owner in that current seller. Right? I think it's the combination. The seller took pride of ownership, took super good care of their house. They did great things. They kept it in great condition. And then they picked a great agent team to represent and showcase their home the very best so that they were prepared to set records. And that's something, Kyle, that you've done year in, year out. You don't just talk a game, you actually deliver. We've talked about this in the past. You told me you're going to build this great team. You told me you're going to do all this. And I said, hey, talk's cheap, Kyle. Every 20-something-year-old kid tells me that. Show me. And he continues year after year to amaze me and many others in the industry, because he doesn't just talk. He actually backs it up with great marketing material, does a great presentation, helps that seller get top dollar. And there's no doubt, because I've had to cross-approve many of these buyers, this house will be a record price ever in that neighborhood. Ever.
Oh, yeah.
So,
absolutely. Especially for the square footage of the house. It's
yeah. So
crazy.
What's the permitted square footage?
1335, I believe, is the permitted square footage. And then it's
that's
got a
crazy,
bonus
man.
room that's about 300 square feet on top of that. That's very nicely done, but is not permitted as square footage. So it's
permitted, it's just not livable space permitted.
It's a patio that was enclosed without permits.
Gotcha.
So it has value because it's square footage, but it's not going to get valued the same as the permitted square footage. So there is some value, but not as much as the remainder of the house.
So, if you're a buyer looking to compete right now, it's going to be tons of offers on any good home that you want to probably write an offer. So you need to work with an agent lending team that's going to help guide you through that. And you can't put top price with 5% down and think the appraisal is going to come in, right? This is where you need to think outside the box, think of ways, how can I come up with additional cash? Can I beg, borrow from mom, dad, brother, sister? Do we take money from our 401k? What do we need to do if we really love this house, we really think it's a great investment, we really think this is a place we want to be, what can we do to set ourselves apart? Because writing this super high price with a 5% down payment with an appraisal contingency is not going to probably get it done.
It's crazy. But if you own a home and you'd like to list your home and get it in escrow $50,000, $100,000 over what the comps in the neighborhood are, I would love to help make that happen for you. And we've been doing that consistently. We have another one that we did in El Cerrito over near San Diego State. Same thing. Comps said that it was worth like $550. We listed it at $600, and we got a bidding war going on that one too. I mean, it's crazy right now. If you do own a home and you want to cash in, there's never been a time like this. And Jason's done this, longer than most of us have been alive. I've done this 17 years. I mean, this is an insane market. And it's a beautiful, beautiful time to be a seller. So if you want to cash in on that investment in that home that you own, call us or text us 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. And before we do head to a break, Jason, when it comes to unpermitted square footage, so just correct me if I'm wrong here, but the appraiser is going to appraise the home based on the permitted square footage, and they're going to comp it with homes of similar square footage. Then they're going to add some value for the unpermitted square footage, but the amount of value they add is very much going to be dependent on the quality of the addition that's done, the flow, because sometimes you have these additions where you got to go through a room to get to a room to get to a room. So we got a minute before the break.
Yeah, it's got to be workmanlike manner, and it's an appraiser's opinion. Again, that's the tough thing. It's the eye of that beholder, right? So they're looking at that home going, does this flow? Does this make sense? Does this work? Was it done in a professional manner? Can I give some value for this unpermitted addition? Sometimes yes, sometimes no, but that's why you want to work with a professional listing agent. It can help that appraiser see what you as the seller see, because you want to get the top dollar for your home.
I love it. When we get back here on Whissel Wednesdays, we're going to talk with Cyndy Higgerson with the Whissel Realty team about some of the marketing techniques that we're using over at Whissel Realty to help our sellers set records in their neighborhoods. We'll be right back.